Sort of like you get
Maybe
the
we
piece
could
of
sell
the
He's
them
not
a
floor.
taking the
fundraiser.
whole backstop.
Oh heavens,
though.
no, the whole backstop, no. No, but that's it, so it
Kevin,
was.
you should have them cut them up and
Building
sell
a
them as
field of
fundraisers.
dreams
Yeah.
in his side yard.
Yeah.
Did they talk about the state's brilliant move to tax beach parking?
Okay, that was one of the things. One of the things too is Dave pointed out that it's $40 now, but it is going to happen
Yeah,
because
it's gonna be.
if it's a parking pass, it'll be
Yeah.
taxed. If it's an entrance fee, maybe not. But
Wow.
the thing is, we have always called it a parking pass. So
Mm-hmm.
the feeling was, and we were waiting to get a.
But you can enter for free if you're a town resident, but if you so there's no way we're gonna get around it, and we've checked with the state Department of Revenue Services. I talked to several first selectmen and mayors at the COG level. We're gonna have to charge that tax.
The big concern there was too is, okay, now it brings it up to, okay, it's $42.61. Well, people, that's a nightmare for people walking in or pulling in. So then maybe what would it be so that you probably round up to 45, and what combination of a fee plus taxes will bring you to 45. So that did come up and was a concern. And again, it's not a tax, it's a fee. There's a difference.
Well, this is a sales tax, actually.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was a fee.
So we have to manage that and send
Yeah.
the check up.
Yeah.
It's a sales tax on our fee.
Yeah, and Dave said, especially you want to, he'll be able to round it up the numbers, but that's one of the things
It's
before they
Lock it in.
lock it in,
Yeah,
they wanted to get a decision on
that
that.
is going to be the case. I talked to several people. I've been working with Dave on that.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that, yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes, so last Friday night, Roseanne and myself, we went to the Preservation Potluck Dinner, and it was a very nice event. It was well attended. Their estimates were about 70 people that attended. The food was great, and I went back for seconds.
Shocking.
You're not surprised by it.
Shocking.
And but there were several presentations by the various groups that are involved, and a very dedicated group of people that really care about this town, and it was really insightful to hear their presentations, and I really enjoyed it. It was a nice evening. Wellsco, I attended the Wellsco meeting last week, and unfortunately I have to report that Peter Harris, who has been the chairman for a long period of time, he has thought that he's decided he needs to resign from that commission. He will be missed. I've enjoyed attending that commission and watching how he conducts his meetings, and unfortunately the tenor there has changed, and so he is moving on, and that's my report.
I appreciate Peter for all the work he has put
Absolutely.
in. Sorry to lose him. I know these are tough times, and no volunteer in our community should have to go through the ridicule and really unprofessional behavior that he's been subjected to.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Peter Harris, on behalf of this grateful town.
Yeah, a good guy, and he did a great job there.
He sure did.
Taught me a lot
former
while I was-
student.
Another former student? No
Ah,
way.
yes.
Really? You're amazing. Mr. Daigle?
Yes, harbor management and shellfish. There's a potential to be opening additional shellfishing areas at Black Point and the Patagonia Estuary. There's some preliminary discussions going on with the state based on water quality evaluations over the years. And the state DABA has opened up Area E, which is in the middle of the bay, without even being asked by the town to do so. So that's going to be opening up for shellfishing as well. That's about it. Oh, excuse me. The harbor management plan, latest revision, has been approved by the state with one comment. And it's going to town legal at this time for resolution. It was the one point of entry control, who controls entry, right of way. I don't know if it was Saunders Point or.
Yeah, the Saunders Point, yeah.
And it was, what we had put in there with legal advice is that it would be resolved at a later time, and the state said no, take those words out. So that has to go back to the town's attorney to determine what the next thing's
Those
gonna be.
fire dogs,
Yeah.
we're still gonna, oh boy, I don't know if that's gonna be a quick resolution.
It may not be, but the state didn't want to approve the plan with it, something in it that says we resolve later.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so more to follow on that, once, one of the lawyers returns from medical leave to have some initial discussions.
Paul, was there any discussion of the POCD
Discussion about,
feedback to the, for the,
yeah,
there
about
was.
attending, yeah.
Okay, good,
So-
thank you.
And
And the Public Safety Building Vision Committee met last night. We're getting closer to having a complete construction drawings available for the bid process. The town is working with the architect, Silver and Petrocelli, to put the front matter for the bid, so and we're still trying to finalize a few integrations between the town's IT and the communication vendor and the designer. So we're meeting again in 2 weeks, hoping to have 100% drawings and the forward package of the bid package put together so that we'll be in a position, hopefully within 2 to 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks, I would say, to actually issue the request for bids for the public safety building.
sure.
Okay, Mr. Daigle, as you may recall at the last meeting, I had some questions about the removal of the sprinkler system. And I believe that the response was that this was not necessary because there were numerous egress and exits that could be utilized by people. But I've given that some thought, and sprinkler system also protects equipment within the building. And we're going to have, eventually we're going to have a lot of computers and other technical things such as that, and as well as manuals and things, which would be paper products. I still have some concerns about leaving that out of the plan. So,
I will bring that up at our next meeting. There's, right now, it's been judged not to be required by code, but the final decision has not been made.
It was only ever gonna be in the cell area,
Right.
not throughout the building. It was never the plan to put it in the entire building. That would be a big retrofit. It would be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's like, is this building sprinkled?
I don't believe so.
I don't see any.
So you're right. Does a sprinkler system give you some level of assurance and protection? It certainly does. It's the cost. First of all, life safety comes first. You can always replace equipment and such, but from a life safety standpoint. But we'll have that discussion, because you're not the first one who's asked about that, so we'll continue that.
I don't want it eliminated simply based on added cost and staying under budget. You know, if
Understood. We'll give the town's fire marshal and the technical
State code.
requirements, and then the vision committee will jointly address what they feel should or shouldn't be included. And I don't think any of our discussions so far have been based on cost. You know, things that we've talked about not doing obviously have a cost effect at times, but that has not been the driving points of any of the commission members to say, don't do this because it saves $1. It's because don't do this because we don't necessarily need to do it at this time.
Right. Great. Thank you, Mr. Daigle.
Thank you.
My only report tonight is that we're absolutely very busy on developing the budget. It's very complicated. There's many things we're trying to twist and turn this year in order to save money, but also deliver increased services that are desperately needed in certain areas. And we're working hard at trying to bring in a budget to you that makes sense, because you got to look at it and see, oh, I see why they're doing this. We're lots of balls in the air. So we will be prepared, and we will deliver that budget at our next meeting, which I believe is February 5th, if that is a Wednesday. And we'll deliver that budget, and then that evening we're going to have to also figure out how many meetings we'll need. I have a press schedule at the end of February with a conference I got to be at and such, but we'll get through it. But be prepared with your calendars next time as well, because we'll want to get right into that budget immediately the following week even, to start knocking out some of the departments. And there may be some that we don't need to see this year, as in other years, in that there's nothing but a salary and a paperclip supply. We will have to schedule the Board of Ed. The Board of Finance is expressly requested that we give comment along with when we pass the Board of Ed budget to the Board of Finance. They're looking for written comment, or, narrative comment in our minutes, but they're want to know what we did with the Board of Ed budget. The charter says that we
Don't we
should
pass
pass it to the Board of Finance with comment and suggestion and requests, and we should do that.
We did it for many years,
Yes.
and then there didn't seem to be a tremendous amount to really comment on, but I'm sure we can manage.
Right. So Kevin's already loaded up with a speech about salaries and,
No, don't say that.
No,
No, please don't say that.
no.
I will pass on the rest, and there's nobody here for delegations, so unless there's other comments.
Move to adjourn?
Second, and I got a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. We'll see you in February.
Great.